All right, so this election has been interesting, to say the least. Jill Stein, Green Party candidate. I like Jill Stein. Let me start by saying that. In fact, for a long time, I wouldn't tell people this because I tried not to influence how you vote. But I'm in Massachusetts, and I'm voting for Jill Stein. The reason I'm voting for Jill Stein is not so much because I want her to win, or I think that she's going to be the best candidate. I think it is important that we have more choices because we've seen the complete failure of the duopoly. We need to make sure that the Green Party as well as the Libertarian Party get to 5%. This is a safe state. This is Massachusetts. There's no way in hell Donald Trump is going to win this state. There's just no way. So my vote for Jill Stein is going to be completely irrelevant in the general election, but it should help the Green Party. But I have a problem with Jill Stein. And I have a problem with the logic of the Green Party that's being employed. Let me start by playing this first clip, Pat, if you would, of Jill Stein at the town hall she had last week.
Steve, are you okay with a nuclear war? I mean, how are you going to feel if we're going to nuclear war? 6 months from now, we could be at a nuclear war with Russia, thanks to Hillary's foreign policy. We've seen what Hillary can do in Libya. Yeah. Hillary says what she wants to do in Syria. You know, it's important not to drink the Kool-Aid. Don't just be a victim of the propaganda. You really need to look at the track record here and then make a principled decision.
All right, that's enough.
If you decide...
There's another clip. I'll let it play in its entirety of her explaining her justification for this. All right, here's my problem. The Green Party has, and many of their surrogates and supporters, their number one complaint has been stop fear-mongering. Stop making Donald Trump to be the boogeyman because that empowers the duopoly. Because if you make Donald Trump the boogeyman, then that means everybody must support Hillary Clinton. But then they turn around and engage in their own type of fear-mongering. Now, we could talk about whether or not a no-fly zone will legitimately lead to a hot war with Russia and whether that hot war with Russia would lead to a nuclear war. But clearly, there are more steps in the decision to destroy the earth, mutually assured destruction. There are more steps involved than simply saying, if you vote for Hillary, she wants to have a nuclear war. And she actually uses this language like Hillary, she wants a nuclear, she's going to slip very quickly into a nuclear war. How do you engage in fear mongering when you've been telling everyone not to fear monger? I don't know how that works, Pat. What do you think?
So it looks like you're going to go with Jill Stein no matter what at this point. Yeah. Really what we need in this country is some sort of ranking voting system where you maybe would put Jill Stein number 1, Hillary Clinton number 2. So if Jill Stein on her own is not able to have enough votes to win, then your vote would go to Hillary Clinton, the next person on the list. Yeah. Because a lot of people are afraid to vote for third-party candidates because they feel like they're just throwing their vote away. But really, we have to get to a point where people are able to vote their conscience.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think people should, right? I don't try to influence anyone on your voting decision, not on my show, not ever, because it's a personal decision. Here's the logical problem I'm having with this. If you really believe Jill Stein, if you really believe that Hillary Clinton is going to take us into a nuclear war, how could you sit by and allow Hillary Clinton to win by not taking your voters to support Donald Trump? Because if you genuinely believe that Hillary Clinton is going to end the world, I mean, nuclear war is the end of the world, why are you even in this race? Like, you should take every single one of your voters and give them over to Donald Trump, because as she says in this next clip, Donald Trump, he may be a lot of things, but he's not really a person who's going to take us into nuclear war. In other words, Donald Trump is the lesser of two evils. Play that clip for me.
And one last point, which is this, that it's now Hillary Clinton who wants to start an air war with Russia over Syria by calling for a no-fly zone. We have 2,000 nuclear missiles on hair trigger alert, and Mikhail Gorbachev, the former premier of the Soviet Union, is saying we are closer to a nuclear war than we have ever been. Under Hillary Clinton, we could slide into nuclear war very quickly from her declared policy in Syria. So I won't sleep well at night if Donald Trump is elected, but I sure won't sleep well at night if Hillary Clinton is elected. Fortunately, we have another choice other than these two candidates who are both promoting lethal policies. But on the issue of war and nuclear weapons and the potential for nuclear war, it's actually Hillary's policies, which are much scarier than Donald Trump.
So, Pat, this is my thing. if I told you Hillary Clinton is 100% guaranteed to take us to nuclear war, are you going to, quote unquote, waste your vote with Jill Stein, or will you vote for Donald Trump to make sure that Hillary Clinton doesn't get anywhere near the White House? It's not a fair question, but that's kind of what's been set up here.
Well, I'm not sure if I'm going to answer it directly, but this whole election has been framed sort of as a lesser of two evils. And Jill Stein is trying to say that Hillary Clinton is the more evil of the two because that's going to benefit her. That's going to bring more votes to her.
Right.
And it's interesting how, if you look at the libertarian side of things,
Bill
thing. Weld, he realizes that, he probably doesn't have a chance. They're not getting in the debates. His ticket's not going to win. And he's taking the opposite approach. He's saying, vote for Hillary, it seems, giving a wink and a nod to the fact that we can't allow Donald Trump to be president.
So you should run for office because you're really good at not answering that question. But good job.
I was at least honest about it.
Yeah, you're honest about it. At least that's all the more reason for you to run for office. But here's the thing. They have run this entire election on, there's a lot of great, let me take a sidestep here because I have to give some disclaimers. There are a lot of good things about the Green Party platform that I like. I 100% believe that you should vote your conscience. You shouldn't be pressured into voting for anyone that you don't want to vote for. That being said, if this entire campaign has been about don't vote for the lesser of two evils, how do you then turn around and try to convince progressives that Hillary is the greater of two evils? You cannot simultaneously be appalled with fear-mongering and then engage in fear-mongering. And then you can't simultaneously reject the lesser of two evilism and then embrace it. There's a tweet by Juma Baraka that really set me down this path. If you want to share that on the screen, he said he shared this article, Why Hillary Clinton is More Dangerous Than Donald Trump. Here's my thing. If that's what you genuinely believe, then why are you telling everyone else to reject the lesser of two evils when you're engaging in it right there? So it's just a logical thing that really it's kind of a level of hypocrisy too, that they are trying to be the beneficiary of the rejection of two evils while simultaneously using the rejection of two evils to their benefit. And if we are going to be a principled party, if we're going to be a principled people and stand based on logic, then we have to be genuine in this and not engage in the very thing we're telling people not to engage themselves in. So again, all of that to say, I'm sorry, it's just something that obviously you could tell bothers me, but it's the level of hypocrisy. Unfortunately, my job on my show, what I do every night is I call out BS when I see BS. I call out hypocrisy when I see it, even when it's coming from a candidate that I support. I am voting for Jill Stein. If I was in a swing state, I would not. I don't know if I could say that. Because to me, I do believe that Trump is the greater evil. But I'm in Massachusetts, so Jill Stein, I want the Green Party to get 5%, and that's why I'm supporting her. But when BS comes my way, Pat, I've got to call it.
Yeah, it seems like you're more voting for the Green Party than Jill Stein in particular. If they're able to get 5%, that would guarantee them a spot on the ballot for the foreseeable future. Yeah.
I mean, and I think more choices. What we need in our democracy, because of the failure of the duopoly, the failure of the ruling class, we need more choices, and we need America to be exposed to more choices. So yeah, that's absolutely right. You said it better than I did. I'm supporting the Green Party in Massachusetts because I can do so without helping Donald Trump. But I am also supporting them because we need more choices in our American democracy.